like even when I talk to younger folk, or I look at what's online, I think there is this like I can't fully empathize with what they're going through because I'm not them. I can try and empathize, and I think even when I look at older generations, part of me is like, okay, you don't understand what I'm going through. But for someone who was listening to what you just said, who might agree fundamentally, but all they hear is an older person preaching to me. He doesn't know what I'm going through.
Well, fortunately, I think I've been able to engage with younger people, but younger people about past their teens now, because it's very hard to really be able to relate to somebody who's in their teens, 15, 16 years. I really don't know what they're going through.
Yeah.
But being at 72 years old, being able to relate people who are in their early 20s is really not so bad.
Yeah.
Who can have a serious conversation with you, who's not just going through lifestyle issues and so on, but really thinking about the world and so on. I think I can understand where they're coming from, but I also say to them that if you're going to say, okay, boomer, and write me off and practice ageism, it's not any different than somebody of my generation writing you off and saying, you have absolutely, you're just a youngster who knows nothing. I think if we try hard enough and there is goodwill on both sides, meaning a younger person not stereotyping an older person into any kind of stereotypes, and an older person also doing the same. And if both sides recognize that there's a lot of commonality between what the younger person is going through and what an older person has gone through, and there's no preachiness, which I definitely am against. I think preachiness is horrible because it indicates a false sense of arrogance. Why should a younger person, how can an older person be more arrogant simply by saying, I've been there, I know more than you, and so on. But if you can communicate as equals, you being a younger person has definitely more vigor, more insight into certain things than I have, but I as an older person have my point of view also. And I think communication is so critical that both age groups respect each other. And I also honestly believe that history always repeats itself. When you say younger people today have challenges, fine. But don't think that a previous generation didn't have challenge, or my father's generation didn't have their own challenges. So every generation has their own challenges, their own solutions, their own joys, their own disappointments, and there's no reason why you cannot be a good counsel for somebody else. That's why you see the really good grandparents can actually counsel grandchildren even on affairs of the heart. Even though you may be 85 years old, you have also once had a girlfriend or boyfriend, you've broken up, you've had sadness, so you can always empathize. And in fact, that is at the core of Banyan Tree's own service culture. 4 words, I am with you, is at the bedrock of our service culture. And empathy then is so critical to an understanding between generations. So my reply to somebody who says, okay, boomer, I'd say, you haven't even heard me out. You haven't even heard what I have to say to you. Then you're as bad as me, who doesn't want to hear you out because I write you off because you're a kid. That's not fair either.
Yeah.